Good morning, Diederik, and good morning, Maarten. How did you actually find each other?
Maarten approached us a while back and asked if I wanted to come to his practice. So I did, and we had a very good conversation. I also introduced him to my uncle, the creator of Amino Alliance, that's Professor Emeritus Dr. Arne van der Gen, yes, who is standing here. And that continued exchange, just getting to know each other, also explaining the product. Then he asked if he could come along in your program.
Maarten, because you are the doctor and you are a special doctor, can you tell something about it?
I'm a specialist in lifestyle medicine, that's what it's called these days, but I started in to actually see if I could transform the model of disease control as I had learned in medical school into health promotion. And then you actually come up with 4 things that are very important for creating health. That is, of course, nutrition and exercise, but also reducing stress and tension. I do that with the Sedona method, and the connection factor is also not unimportant. And by that we actually mean the experience of meaning. So if people come into bedtime in the morning and they have a certain passion to go for something, whether that's work, a relationship, nature, hobby, doesn't matter. But if you don't have that, that's actually a sickening factor.
Bottom line, you should keep doing what you feel like doing and not retire.
Exactly. Don't sit behind the geraniums.
Because then what are most people doing fundamentally wrong in your eyes?
Well, it varies, but so if we look at those 4 factors, there are a lot of people who actually don't have good food choices, eat processed foods with too many added sugars. There are also a lot of people who are pretty good with their diet, but they don't exercise enough. Those are sitting on the sofa zapping. And then beyond that, in this society, the stress factor is pretty high. So that's something I pay special attention to teach people how can you release tension and negativity.
Okay, now you have this doctor or this professor, is it Arne van der Gen, and you've also looked at amino acid all the way through. What's so special about that product, and why do you like it so much?
He actually has the particular invention of Luis Agnero, who was awarded the Nobel Prize for his exercises
in the
guy in this book? 1990s. That's this guy. He's not a doctor, but he's a pharmacist. And what does he say? And he actually says, there's a substance in our body, nitric oxide. It's only in blood very briefly, but that causes relaxation of the blood vessels. Well, is that nitric oxide is a gas you can't give to somebody. So he looked for, how can I promote that in another way? That nitric oxide is so beneficial, it has so many beneficial effects in the body. How can I promote that with something that promotes that nitric oxide production? And so that's what he found with a unique formula. And I then, in about the year 2000, I've heard of that, of those publications. That's Nobel Prize, of course. Yeah, that's great. And that drug he had developed, that was not available here. So I then went to my compounding pharmacy in Helmond and asked, can you make that? And they said, yes, we can make that. Then I prescribed it for years with great success. People benefited from it. But that pharmacist unfortunately passed away, and then that stopped. So I was very happy to discover that Diederik picked this up, and a similar product, Amino Alliance, with the same beneficial effects, that he picked that up, and so now it's available again. So I also prescribe it to patients.
Diederik, say the drug itself. You started in America with that.
Yes, so I was looking for a solution myself for something that worked. That was a scavenger hunt, as I mentioned once on your show. That led to the Nobel Prize data and other research. Then I asked my uncle, Professor Arne van der Gen, if he could make something. Well, he could, but you have to put together very special ingredients on a processing method. So that turned into a voyage of discovery of almost a year that led to Amino Alliance. And now we see, as Dr. Klatte also sees with his patients, that thousands of people just report that they really benefit from it.
So what exactly does it activate all, if I have to summarize?
So it helps reinvigorate a process which from nature takes place that you are mature, that you are fused. That diminishes after that. That's also one of the reasons why we age. If you reinvigorate that, then you get a rejuvenation effect, and then again a toleration of the aging effect. That's one of the many manifestations you see, positive way.
And say,
how do you use it? You take it in an hour and a half, 2 hours after a meal, lasso emptied, right before bed with a little water. I do that myself, and it's very effective with most people. Also, if you get up at night, take it again, or only then, you can do that too. Or before exercise, it depends on what you want to achieve. But for healthy sleep and recovery, taking it at night, right before bedtime, empty-minded is best.
And I also hear that back from patients that so they sleep better, they sleep deeper, they don't have to get out as often. They are rested and awake in the morning.
The period that you're fast asleep, I use it myself. But after about 6 hours or so, it seems to me that it kind of wears off.
That could be. That's different for everybody.
Yes. Then you get more dreamy again. You tell me, and Lisbeth was just a little dreamier too. But Lisbeth also uses it. How do you like that, Lisbeth?
I got out of bed late. I overslept this morning, if that's what you mean, because of that alliance. Because I got it, free year I got it. And I was sitting here because of the heat with swollen legs. Doesn't matter. But I took it and it totally subsided. It's yes, it's one of the crazy underspill, is it?
Okay, that's Lisbeth's experience and mine too, actually.
We guarantee it for a reason too. It either works or it works, or you just get your money back. That's no hassle. That's one of the main reasons why people just buy it. Because if it doesn't work, you just get your money back, and then you also get guidance. We also have customer service that does...
How many people are using it now because of you?
Thousands of people. I've been on your show 10 times, so it's going very well.
Overall, resuming, you totally support it?
Totally support it as a physician. I am always looking for remedies that are naturally effective, but most importantly, safe. As a physician, you take an eat, the eat of Hippocrates, and one of the most important parts of that eat is that you promise to do no harm.
And not promise faint praise.
Exactly, and in this remedy, and also at the time what Dürlinger made, it is very clear that it is effective. It is even very broadly effective. I hear very different things from people who come, for example, with the complaint of I'm so tired, and then I see them again later at the consultation a few months later and say, well, my fatigue is gone, but they say, I heard a man say that. That was very funny. It also goes well again between the sheets. So there are very different things, and so you can wonder how they do it.
I didn't ask Lisbeth, by the way.
No.
But we'll inform that later.
So how is it possible that it has so many different effects? Because it's because of the whole basal effect.
Thank you so much. And do you want more information? Do you want to order it? Then check out our site, www.aminoalliance.com.